Hello, good morning. Happy Friday, April 3rd, 2026. I'm Manila Chan. That's Ted Rall. You are tuned in to the Ted Manila Info Show, TMI Show for short, because we bring you too much information. We are live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time after deprogram, and we'll figure out the shuffle. I know what I was watching. I know some people are mad about all of that. I'm glad you guys explained what's going on. But the dust will settle. And the show must go on.
The dust, much like it did over Hiroshima.
The dust will settle, and the show must go on, as they say.
It must.
And I'm sure once John's dust settles, he'll pop on every now and again because that was his pet project too, you know. And I'm sure he'll pop in.
He's gonna miss it.
Yeah, he's still all of our friends. It's not like he's gonna go off the Well, I hope not. Then he goes off to Hollywood and becomes some douchebag. That would be really funny, though.
Well, Manila, has that ever happened to you? That has happened to me.
Like a friend that made it big.
Oh, it's happened to I'll name names. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Dave Eggers. Do you know who Dave Eggers is? Dave Eggers is best known for writing a book called A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius. It was considered like a huge Generation X bestseller. And even though that's never been made into a movie, which is weird, it ended up becoming, he's done a lot of movies. He's written scripts. He's had novels. He's kind of like become he's the editor-in-chief and founding editor of McSweeney's. So he's kind of like, literary royalty. Anyway, once he made it big, he became a mega douche
Really?
and basically stopped talking to all of his friends. So that sucks. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. John doesn't strike me as that kind of person. I think he's more genuine, and especially if like fame or success finds you later in life, such as John, like 60 plus. I feel like you're kind of grounded in who you are.
Well, he certainly had some majorly grounding life experiences,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. So I hope, obviously we wish him the best, and we hope, John, don't be a douchebag. Don't turn into a Hollywood douchebag.
Manila will cut you.
I will cut you, John. He's not.
I would not want to make an enemy of Manila. I'm not even kidding at all.
No, I'm just cold. If I have very few enemies, but I'm very cold, and it's just, you will get no answers out of me. I will put up the Great Wall of China.
What's your Myers-Briggs personality profile?
ENTJ.
That makes sense. I'm INTJ. That's why we get along. ENTJ and INTJ is like a dream team for friends.
We have majority of overlapping personality traits.
So
Robbie says we have ads, and that the U.S. just officially confirmed the jet getting shot down. Which jet was that?
So I think it's an F-15 variant that was shot down over Iran, and Iranians claimed that the pilot. I guess it could have gone down due to mechanical failure. I know, not enough fuel. Anyway, the point is,
or missing a wing.
More likely missing a wing. And like
I was going to say,
the pilot
did a fire truck get in the way, or
maybe so. By the way, do you know the latest on that whole LaGuardia Airport story? They're now looking the current NTSB is looking into the possibility that we know there was only one air traffic controller, and that he had to get up out of his seat to go check on something else due to this crisis with another plane, and that maybe nobody was actually in the seat at the time.
There's nobody manning the station.
Well, because it's fucking understaffed.
Yeah, I know.
It's not his fault if that's true. I mean, they just don't.
No.
Look, who among us hasn't worked somewhere where the boss just didn't want to have enough personnel, right? And you're in an impossible situation.
It's one dude. I mean, if you got to go to the bathroom, what do you do?
And that wasn't even a situation. He had two crises happen at the same time.
Yeah, that closest I've been to that emergency situation is when I was at CBS in Arizona, and it was just a day where I don't know why everyone was out sick, but it was just me and the weatherman, and
So
just like a stomach flu going around or something. And then I was like, oh, I hope I don't, I don't get it, and especially not midair because I'm the only one manning the whole rest of the show, except the weatherman. The weatherman does what the weatherman do, right? So
yeah,
he's at his weather wall, and then I
in
feel
front of the green screen.
right. I'm
Mhm.
feeling the little, and I'm going, oh no, he's in weather, right? And I'm going, oh my god, if it's gonna, it needs to happen now. So I rush off the set down, and I'm texting him, and I'm like, Harry, it got me. It got me. Like the stomach flu caught me. It caught me because it got everybody in the whole station.
Oh
And,
my God, that's so funny.
and he's poor. I mean, this is what happens when you don't have like backup staff, right? And we had complained about needing backup reporters just on hand for this very reason. Like you can't leave me and the weatherman to run the whole network, the whole station, because everybody caught the stomach flu. It caught me, at like 10:20 p.m. And I had to go to the toilet, and the poor weatherman was like having to do the show from the weather wall for a few minutes until I could come back. So thankfully nobody died, unlike the TSA, but it really could have been a disaster on my part too. So, hire backup staff. All right. Are we supposed to get to the ad? Is it still there?
Yep, it's still there.
Oh,
Nope,
okay.
I've got it. I'll go and throw it up right now.
Okay. And then we got to jump to the stories because I know we got a tight schedule today with like meetings and stuff later. So we appreciate you being here, everybody that came over from Deprogram and sticking around. All right, let's get to our regular sponsor. Speaking of staying regular, still haven't tried 1775 coffee? Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped, only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus without the crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin free, and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. And a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions. Plus, you'll get a black 1775 tumbler, $170 worth of coffee and gear, all yours for $99. This is for all of you who've been watching 1775 blow up here on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, the whole TMI crew says yes. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio. Grab your starter kit before they're all gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does.
Now, so wait a minute. I'm confused, guys. I thought that Trump obliterated all of Iran's missile capability, its navy, its nuclear
and the biggest
program
bombings ever. Yeah.
The best boast, and so for a country, I mean, shooting down a sophisticated American fighter jet is not an easy endeavor. That is not something that like the Houthis can do.
No, it's dudes with slingshots, Ted.
Right. You need extremely accurate, heat-seeking slingshots that are, and we're talking about like these are top guns. These are the best pilots in the world fly these American fighter jets over into combat. So they're trained in the best evasive maneuvers. They fly extremely high. These are very fast planes. I mean, that plane was designed by my father. It is a wicked piece of machinery. And so to me, that says that the Iranians have they have a lot of fight left in them. And now they have prisoners of war.
Wait a minute, Ted. So you're telling me that perhaps POTUS lied to us?
I wouldn't go so far as to call him a lying sack of orange dung. I think I might say that I suggest that he's may have accidentally misled us into
or
not
Ted,
understanding the gravity of the situation, that we are,
I
what's the word? Screwed?
don't make me defend him, but I'm just going to put this out there just as a possibility. Is there a chance that he actually believes all the things that he's saying because of maybe he's receiving misinformation? Is that possible?
Well, I mean, of course there's a chance of that, but I think that chance is vanishingly close to zero. I think that people tell the military, they tell the president what they think is true, right? And I think look at how the CIA
fired the dude yesterday.
The CIA always got blamed, right, for the Iraq WMD's intel. No, the CIA told Bush the truth. They said, we don't think that there's any evidence that Iraq still has WMDs at all, not since the early 90s. And then, Cheney and the gang spun that info.
They spun that. Yeah, that's what Scott Ritter. I don't know if the CIA told the truth. I don't think they're in the habit of doing that. I would say
to the president,
I would say the military. No, I don't think so. I think the chief responsibility of the CIA is to lie to the president. I think that's exactly what happens, which is why we saw the type of barrel bombings that we saw across Laos for 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. Is because they lied to the fucking president. So I think that's part of their chief job is the CIA lies to the president. However, I think the military, I think you're right about the military, is that they're like, no, Mr. President, this is what's going on, because Scott Ritter was in the military back then, and he was a weapons inspector for the UN, and he's the one that disseminated the information that there's nothing there, and that information got laundered, by playing telephone,
right,
into finally getting to Bush's ear by way of Cheney and Wolfowitz and those guys. That
fine fellows, all
he has lots of WMDs. It went from none
to all of them,
to all the WMDs in the world. So, but I think there is a fair chance that a lot of the intel that finally gets to Trump's ear or desk has been thoroughly laundered to some degree. And I don't think he is intellectually curious enough to dig a little deeper or ask follow-up questions. So I think there's a fair chance that he doesn't actually know. It could go either way. Either he's, dubious in his claims, or he's a dunce. It could be either one.
It could be. That's true.
It really could be 50-50. So I don't know. Right now, I think nobody can be that stupid, but maybe he can. If you're vacuous,
could be.
If you're vacuous and vapid yourself and have no, remember, he's not a politician, and he's trying to pretend to be one, and he comes from the world of New York real estate. I don't think he has any. The only outcome he wants is to win, whether it's a deal, scoring, property, it's whatever. So he doesn't have necessarily the moral compass that we would want in a commander in chief, right? Or some ethical values. He's a New York real estate guy. Come on.
True.
So that's that. So he could very well be dumb and misled, but that's me giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not actually giving it to him, just putting it out there. Anyway, let's get to the main stories. I know you guys talked about Pam Bondi going bye Felicia. So we're not going to touch on that. We're not going to touch on that here. But I just think it's funny that all the chicks from Trump's admin are.
I noted that as the resident chick on the TMI show. Do you feel like that's sexism on Trump's part? If you're a girl, if girls get fired, last hired, first fired.
No, I don't. No, because we're talking about Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi, and their performances just sucked. all of them, like in their jobs.
Well, clearly Kristi Noem should be replaced with her husband.
Well, doesn't mean he thinks he's a woman, Ted.
That photo. Oh my God.
It doesn't mean Mr. Noem thinks he's a woman.
No.
Mr.
Well,
Noem.
no, it means that he wants to look like a beautiful, pretty. Actually, the thing, he doesn't look pretty at all.
Betty
You know,
Boop.
like I remember, I'm old enough to remember when trannies tried to look pretty. You know,
But he's not really a tranny. He just likes
yeah, he is. He's a transvestite. He is a tranny. He's a kind of tranny.
He just, I don't think he goes full regalia. I think he just likes putting on the bodysuit and feeling up fake balloons, like in his.
Right. He's not like trying to be. Yeah,
like I don't think he goes outside and.
Yeah, he's not wearing fishnet stockings and yeah.
No, he's not walking around like Santa Monica Boulevard late at night. You know, like that's. He's not doing that. This is a fetish and it's a kink.
No, I know. Look, I tried to explain that to my sister, my ex sister-in-law. She came home and found her she was married to a strapping, she was Asian. She was married to a big strapping black law enforcement officer.
Oh.
And she came home and unexpectedly was sent home early from work and found him prancing around their house, wearing her naughty underthings, like hers, like her brassiere and I believe her panties or her thong and her stockings, and he was having a good time, and he was quite caught by surprise. Little...
Yeah, well,
it's so funny. By the way, and my ex-brother-in-law, who used to be an EMS driver in LA, he said it's shocking how many dudes are in accidents or are having a health crisis that when you get their clothes off, they're wearing girls' underwear. It's not like once in a blue moon. It's like likely to happen every day, is what he said. Like, I was like, wow. Really? And I'm thinking about my mom. My mom used to say, always make your bed before you leave the house, because if you died or you had an accident, the police would come in and see that your house was sloppy. And I'm thinking, if I just got hit by a car, the last thing I care about is being thought of as a slob by the police. but like, these people really don't take precautions. Like in case something happens to them, like they swoon or something at the Ren Fair.
People have proclivities, Ted. Like I said, I know a lot of people that dabbled in that world, whether professionally or just partook in that world.
Professionally, yeah.
I mean, like the dominatrixes and the used underwear sales girl.
Yeah, you and I have talked about that.
So
they have machines. They have vending machines on the street in Tokyo. I've seen them.
Man, the Japanese, I tell you,
Japanese are so perverted and kinky and weird.
But in LA, and of course, this is where I knew all the people that were in this world, and people have these.
I have a friend who's a cartoonist. She was a dominatrix, and she told. And
outwardly, they seem normal.
She was a little mousy Jewish girl. And a brilliant, very acclaimed cartoonist. If I mentioned who she was, you would probably know. And she, are you all right?
Yeah,
all right. She okay, sorry. I don't want to make you. But if you're going to die, better to die laughing.
People
But she told
me. Look normal.
So it was funny. We used to have lunch every day because I had this job that was basically like I had no work at all. I was there for a year and a half. I performed about 2 days worth of work the entire time I was there. And so anyway, we're out having like a 2-hour lunch in San Francisco, and she worked at a dungeon like down the street. And I'm like, hey, so how's business at the dungeon? And she's like, oh, it sucks.
Dominion.
She goes, no one's coming in. I go, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like bringing my New Yorker attitude, right? I'm like, you have the only job where you generate your own business. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, you call up your clients and you say, hey, dirty little worm, get your ass down here and get the beating that you deserve. And they say, yes, ma'am.
Naughty
and
little bitch.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't have that kind of, I can't call the editor at the New York Times.
Amazing to call and just like,
fuck, run my
bitch out your client.
Like, I can't do that. I'm like, that's the best job in the world. Can you imagine if you and I, as podcasters, could call up,
you little asshole.
call sponsors and be like, yeah, that's right. You're going to give the TMI show $500, little bastard. Like,
You little bitch.
But anyway, she had two main scenes that she had written. So people would go to the dungeon and they had like laminated, like a folder.
They call it Dominion.
Right.
Minion.
And she and so like a menu with like when you go to the diner, they have like, and it was a menu, and she'd like, and so she had two main things that she did. One was she's an SS officer, and you're a member of the resistance tied to a chair, and she's torturing you to find out.
And she's a Jewish girl.
She was a Jewish girl, and like really short and mousy, which was funny as shit. But also, we worked near the financial district in San Fran, and right around the corner from the Pacific Stock Exchange. And and a lot of her, captains of industry would come in, and she would like tie them up to the ceiling, suspended like ball gag, like a Tory MP.
They want to be a sub. That's what they call them.
Hanging in nude, and then
humiliated.
I promise this story is worth it, Manila. So this was in the days of cash, and so she would take the money out of their wallets and shove the cash up their assholes, and then fish it out. And so this was just a thing, right? And one time she owed me like I sold her something. I sold her an old typewriter, and she's like, "Oh, how much do I owe you?" And I go, "Oh, it's $50." And I'm like, "No ass cash from you. I take a check."
It's before the days of Venmo, nice and clean.
Right. That's right. Zelle would be fine. Yeah.
Unless you're giving me a new stack of greenbacks you got from the bank. I don't want your cash, bitch.
No ass cash. No ass Even
cash.
If it went through the laundry. No. Mm-mm.
Really? Well, remember, all the greenbacks out there in circulation
they're all filthy.
Trace levels of drugs and
E. coli,
ass juice and whatever, like
jizz.
Just every
all the WMD like vapors there.
Just everything is there. Just greenbacks are dirty as hell. Gross.
True.
It's really gross. But anyway,
it should be brownbacks, really.
So, Venmo is cleaner.
All right, we need to get to it. I apologize for delaying things here.
Isn't this what Trump wanted from Stormy? Yeah. The Rumble Room is saying like, see, there's more trans people out in the world than we know, and then other people are saying, no, this is people with fetishes. So yeah, I agree.
No, but trans means transvestite or transsexual. These days, we just focus on transsexual people.
The people that are cutting things off.
Trans always meant that. Maybe it's changed.
A tranny.
Maybe it's changed the way that kinky sex has changed. Like when I was young, I don't know about if you remember this, kinky sex just meant anything that was not heteronormative, right? BDSM, polyamory, swinging, anything.
Right.
And like now it specifically only means like fetish and BDSM.
Yeah, because the line of norm has been pushed way out, right? But so yeah, like I wouldn't say that Kristi Noem's husband is the way we consider trans today. Like, I don't think he thinks he's in the wrong body. I don't think he thinks No, I don't think that at all. I
think he fetishizes girls and kind of like look. I went down the rabbit hole. What if I had boobs? It's sort of like a form of masturbating, I imagine.
Yes, I forget the term. It's been a long time, but anyway, I went down the rabbit hole that day when the news broke, and the girls, the camera girls, that apparently it's a small world, and these fetish camera models kind of know each other that do the masturbation online or whatever. You tune in to watch them.
Okay.
So I found one chick that was talking like in the forum talking about Kristi Noem's husband. She was like a fetish for a fetish model for men who liked hairy busty chicks. And so she had like
hairy busty chicks. I have been with hairy busty chicks, but I can't say that it's like a fetish.
Armpit bush, between her legs bush, like very, like 70s, and I was like
1970s style.
No, she in particular was like the growth pattern that I saw was I didn't know that women could grow that
Oh,
far
like
out.
giant Armenian,
Like down the side of her inner thigh and up her abdomen. Like,
what?
yeah, I've never seen a woman that hairy. And I was just like, oh my God, people pay her a lot of money to look at these.
God,
but anyway, she was.
God, I love capitalism. That's awesome.
There's a market for everything. So, anyway, apparently these fetish models, whatever your fetish may be, there's a model out there for you, a camera girl. And one of Brian, his name was Bryon, Bryon. Brian.
You wouldn't just say Brian?
Yeah, I think it's Brian, but it's spelled Bryon.
But it's spelled the wrong way. Brian.
The worst way ever, Bryon. Mr. Gnome apparently had a fetish cam girlfriend in California and one, I think it was Denmark or the Netherlands. I forget, but like a Dutch speaking one. But
Wow.
They're very voluptuous women. Very, very, and that's what he was into. So I don't think he was, he's a straight, and Christy Gnome's like this skinny chick, right? She's a skinny chick with like.
By the way, Christy Gnome pre-surgery was very cute. And
she was a cute girl next door.
Cute, just like cute. Yeah, like
very cute.
Yeah, total
very
like
cute.
brown-haired girl next door.
And they're high school sweethearts, is what I found out.
Now she's become monstra.
I know. They're like high school sweethearts. They're like, they've been together forever. And I guess he disclosed to some of his online girlfriends that who his wife was and that she'd been having an affair.
You may have heard of her.
She'd been having an affair with, the advisor.
Corey.
And that he thinks it's been going on since Trump 1.0. Because that's how they met was during Trump 1.0. So welcome to the Friday TMI, Ted. This is what we do.
Yeah, I wonder how that works. It's like, in other words, do you think like they have an understanding? Like they talk about it?
No,
like Brian and Christy are kind of like, yeah, you do you, I'll do me.
I don't know.
I still love you.
Right,
it doesn't matter.
Right. I don't know. Like they have young adult children together. They've been together since high school. They're like mid-50s. They're not old, and I don't know. I don't know. That's people's private bedroom. I don't know. People are strange. But that's to be expected. So,
by the way, Robbie's provided some breaking news. Apparently some Iranian drones have struck an oil refinery in Kuwait City. There's a huge fire breaking out at several operating units. Firefighters are working on it, but so far no success. There's a massive plume of smoke spreading over the city. That's got to be lovely. Good for those of you with asthma.
Yum. All right. This is the Friday TMI. This is why it's Friday. Okay. My first story, Ted, we got to get to my story. This is like,
do it.
Ready? Okay. So that was the water cooler stuff. And now I get to put on my conspiracy hat because it's Friday. Ready?
I wish I could do the X-Files theme for this one.
You ready? Okay.
Manila, you know what I really miss? I miss being allowed to do regular, real, like bumper music, like with using copyrighted material, like we used to on regular radio.
Yeah.
So nice.
I know. Well, so here's this story that nobody's talking about. So reports have recently emerged concerning a series of unexplained disappearances and or suspicious deaths of scientists and military officials across the United States. Ooh. Between July 2024 and February of this year, so far, I think all the way up to March, actually, at least eight individuals with ties to sensitive government-backed research, including aerospace, defense, and nuclear programs, have gone missing or have been found dead. And before anybody puts their tinfoil hat on, with me. Like I get to wear it every now and again. But before you go down that rabbit hole, this isn't like stuff from declassified documents or whatever. So these are the facts, okay? There's no public proof right now that all of these cases are in any such way connected, other than these people are government scientists. So that is weird. There is a cluster of cases involving people with ties to sensitive science, aerospace, military research, and national security work, and the timing is kind of close together. One of the biggest names is Monica Jacinto Reza. Now, Ted, Reza, and correct me if I'm wrong, is a very common Iranian name.
That's correct.
Reza. I know many Rezas.
So she sounds like she's multi-ethnic, right?
Maybe. Monica
Like half
Jacinto
Iranian, half
Reza.
Latina is my guess.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. She's a 60-year-old aerospace engineer and materials scientist. She disappeared June 22nd of 2025 while hiking in California's Angeles National Forest. She worked at Aerojet Rocketdyne and was tied to NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, so JPL, where she was involved in advanced materials work tied to rocket propulsion. Search crews have so far found no body, no clear explanation, and no answers of any sort. Her family don't know what to make of it. She apparently went for a hike and just poof, vanished last summer. Then there's Melissa Casillas, a Los Alamos National Laboratory employee down in New Mexico. She vanished 4 days later, June 26th, 2025. She reportedly worked in an admin role, but at a place that is, not known for handing out coloring books and juice boxes. Los Alamos, if you guys forget, is one of the country's most sensitive nuclear research facilities.
Yeah, but I don't know what they mean by that whole. I mean, obviously, Los Alamos National Laboratory has tons of administrators who do boring shit that's not
right,
like sensitive to national security, right?
But apparently
someone's got to maintain the personnel records. Someone's got to order the Dixie cups.
They still need clearance, obviously, because they might see these files or whatever.
But it's not like everyone's sensitive if they're
right. Right. She's not. But so this lady is, but still, she's a lady that may have seen some things.
Sure.
Because she has a clearance.
Sure.
Then February of this year, retired Air Force Major General William Neal McCaslin, age 68, disappeared in Albuquerque, New Mexico. McCaslin wasn't some random retiree feeding pigeons in orthopedic shoes. He had commanded the Air Force Research Laboratory, one of the most important defense R&D organizations in the country, overseeing major aerospace and weapons-related research. He also had a profile that later drew attention from the UFO and black program corners of the internet, which of course made the story immediately go from odd to every guy with the podcast and bunker got excited because poor guy, he's disappeared. How do you just disappear? A 68-year-old retired major general, like you poof vanish. Then another name, Jason Thomas, a 45-year-old Novartis scientist in Massachusetts who worked in chemical biology and proteomics. I don't know what that is, but he disappeared in December of 2025, so just before Christmas, then was found dead just last month. They found his body. Public reporting has indicated authorities did not initially suspect foul play, but because he also had a high-level scientific resume, his case kind of got folded into a similar narrative, right, because of the company he worked for. And depending on how loose people want to get with this list, there's actually other people, in the broader defense and science orbit. There is this cluster of unusual deaths, people tied to high-level scientific or aerospace or national security, whatever. But what we do not have, at least publicly, is any hard evidence that this is a part of any kind of coordinated silencing operation. But Ted, that's a lot of people in the science field, notable people in the science field in the U.S. Weird stuff. And
It actually is. And the thing is, the disappearances aspect, like it would be like if it was more like if you had when you teed up this story, I was expecting it was going to be like, well, so and so was attacked by a mountain lion while jogging, and so got into a car accident, and so had a heart attack, and I would have been like, whoop-de-doo, right? But disappearances are different. It's kind of like, okay, so a lot of disappearances can turn out to be, again, eaten by a mountain lion, or fallen down. You went hiking, you fell down a ravine or whatever. Or in California, people drive off cliffs and their cars stay in canyons like for weeks or months or years. People don't even understand. Like you can be like right off a major interstate and like nobody knows you're there.
My friend's fiance was riding his motorcycle and that happened like off PCH in one of the canyons, and he went miss. It turns out he was dead.
Yeah, but for ages, right? And then by the time they find you, animals have gotten to your body and stuff. Yeah. So, but this is, so there's probably some of that here, maybe all of it. But it's, we are talking about people out west, and the West is kind of gnarly, and the West has bitey animals, and it has, dangerous roads.
California, for sure, tons of bears and big cats.
Mm-hmm.
Bears and big cats. Angeles National Forest is not to be fucked with. It's not quite Montana.
No.
But there are
it's more dangerous
that will
than you
haul
think.
you off.
It's funny because my ex-wife was from there, and she always talked about how, and I always told her like the terrain seemed harsh to me. Like I wouldn't want to break down. In the middle of nowhere in California. There's no fucking water. There's no fucking phone. There's there's no signal.
It's either mountainous or it's desert.
It's like there's fucking rattlesnakes. She didn't get it, and I was like, everything's dry. People aren't supposed to live here. And and anyway,
it's inhospitable. It's actually inhospitable. So
it's not Arizona, but it's pretty bad.
No,
and
but it's pretty inhospitable to humans.
I think we're going to ultimately
an animal.
We're going to ultimately find that these people mostly got eaten by things and stuff. But it is an interesting story. You do never know, and it is kind of like the plot of 2020. Was it Day After Tomorrow or 2024, where scientists are getting abducted because they're finding out the truth. 2012, that dystopian movie about the end of the earth, and the head of the Louvre is murdered because it's he finds out about this plot to create arcs to save humanity from the end times.
Well, I don't know that movie, and I don't know what this could lead to. You
have to watch it because it's John Cusack.
Oh, okay. I love John Cusack. I'd have to look into that, but this story, I don't know where I'm going with this other than it's odd.
Totally odd.
That all we're hearing about is Nancy Guthrie, right? Poor.
Well, that's weird too.
Mom. That's fucking weird too. She's in Arizona, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's all we're hearing about. But what about all of these people who are not old, not fragile?
No.
And they're fucking scientists.
No, it's fucked up and weird.
How are they missing? How is that possible? I don't know.
Obviously, who knows?
So I guess we'll see if maybe, one day when there's some unredacted files that get released and you're like, oh, that's what happened to all those Los Alamos scientists that went missing.
It's they found out about the UFOs, as the Brits call them.
The UFOs got discovered, and they were going to tell people, and they got maybe, don't know. So that's my opening story, Ted. Let's go to the next one.
A federal courtroom in Philly is now at the center of a case raising some uncomfortable questions about government power, identity, and how far an investigation should go. At issue is a demand from the EEOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, asking the University of Pennsylvania to hand over information tied to Jewish students, faculty, and campus organizations. In other words, a German president is asking for a list of Jews. When has that ever been a problem? The request is part of a broader federal investigation, ironically, into possible anti-Semitism on campus, particularly connected to protests over the war in Gaza. Still waiting for a single incident. Haven't heard one. On paper, the government says this is routine. Investigators say they need names and contact info in order to identify potential victims and witnesses. Standard procedure when looking into workplace discrimination or harassment. Guys,
pre-victim.
Yeah, exactly.
Pre-victim, Ted.
Pre-victims. I have a suggestion for you. If you're really serious, just do what everyone does on college campuses. Just put up flyers on bulletin boards all over campus saying that I'm not kidding. Are you Jewish? Are you a victim of anti-Semitism? Call us, right?
Right, with the little pull tab, so you just pull the phone number off.
Exactly. I'm not even kidding. That's the way to handle this. The EEOC's request for a list of all Jews on campus includes things like lists of Jewish-affiliated groups, membership rosters, and individuals connected to Jewish studies programs. And by the way, you're allowed to study Jewish studies even if you're not Jewish. And that's where alarm bells started going off. Some Jewish students and faculty say the idea of a government agency compiling lists tied to Jewish identity feels deeply troubling. Gee, you think? Raising historical echoes that frankly don't sit well with anyone has ever read about what happened between 1933 and 1945. The university pushed back hard, arguing the request might violate First Amendment protections, particularly when it comes to freedom of association and religious identity, not to mention being creepy as shit. In court, the judge acknowledged that the government might have met the relatively low legal threshold required for the subpoena, but stopped short of deciding whether the request should actually be enforced. So that case is in limbo. So the question is, if the government wins, it could set a precedent allowing the feds to demand similar lists, like we want all Azerbaijanis or whatever, from other schools and institutions during investigations. And this, of course, would, like ICE could say, hey, give us all Latinos or whatever.
Yeah.
Not just about this case, but about where the line is between legit investigation and overreach. Yeah, I mean, when the government's asking for a list of people, particularly Jews, yeah, you have to worry. I mean, ironically, by the way, I don't understand.
It's to protect you.
I don't understand how this government can claim to care about anti-Semitism when they have anti-Semites in their administration, like Pete Hegseth. So I'm just curious, don't understand. Maybe you can tell me.
It doesn't need to make sense. It's 2026.
No, it doesn't make, and it doesn't.
It doesn't have to. And we have to give a shout out to Hamhawk30. Thank you for the donation. Hamhawk says, the canyon above JPL is the one place I have seen a mountain lion while hiking. True. Me too. And over at Griffith Observatory. But they're a little more skittish. Although I was hiking there around Griffith Observatory, and I think like the next day, either it was the day before, a couple days before, or maybe a couple days. It probably was after, because I didn't go after I heard this news. But there was a severed hand discovered on the trail that I was on.
Ooh, was that from Mr. Bitey?
Don't know. I don't remember. It was
has to be, right?
Ago. I think it was a mountain lion attack. I don't remember, but they found the severed hand on the trail, and I was like, I go on that trail.
That's not good. That's not good at all. I don't like that at all. Not even
so.
A little
Hamhawk has our back here. Yes, the California Angeles National Forest is not to be trifled with. It's no Montana, but things be biting you there.
I think I'm trying to think if any country is more. Probably Alaska's even more dangerous than Montana, I would think, because it's got polar bears.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so this story, it just makes me, it gives me Minority Report vibes.
Oh, totally.
We love you, Jews. Let us protect you.
We will take you into protective custody in the east.
We need the list.
Please to board train. Enjoy.
Just give us a list of all the campus Jews.
Yeah.
We'll protect them all.
Jordan, we are your good friend. I am President Trump.
Trump, I will provide you number to put on your vest.
Yes, you will,
for protection.
Soon, for hip purposes, as Gen Z, you will have tattoo.
To protect you.
For that way, it is not water soluble.
It's for protection, Ted.
It's always for protection.
This is Minority Report, Juden style 2026.
It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying.
This is not good,
honestly, I don't know.
Administration.
Okay, so you tell me. Also, I don't understand how American Jews, so many of them, are like down with this administration, considering that, again, the fact that Pete Hegseth is a neo-Nazi. They think that that's not or Steve Miller. I know he's technically Jewish, but he's really a Nazi Jew.
Yeah,
he's a Jewish Nazi. I don't know which it is. Both.
I don't even, like I said, this is 2026. You can dress like a girl and not be a girl, or be a guy that identifies as a girl and go into women's bathroom, whatever. Anything goes. It's 2026, Ted. All right,
anything goes. Yeah.
Okay, here's this a fun science story. I don't know if it's fun so much, but I guess. So you guys all know, like, the old people smell. Yes?
Sad.
No, it's not. I'm not saying it in a derogatory sense, but like there's a smell.
It's been gay, right?
Well, that's different. I mean, sans the Ben Gay, like the mentholatum smell.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason certain people or certain places, like a nursing home or grandma's house or whatever, carry that older folk scent. It's actually not your imagination. It's real. What many people casually call old people smell is actually a real and now studied phenomenon. And according to researchers, it has more to do with body chemistry rather than bad hygiene. I think a lot of people presumed it was like old folks don't take enough showers or something.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for them to, like get in the bathtub or whatever, right? That's why you see all those commercials for those, like, we'll turn your tub into a walk-in bathtub, Like,
yeah, totally. Yeah.
It's one of those. So it's actually not that. It's all to do with body chemistry. Scientists have now identified a compound called 2-nonyl. This is spelled wrong. It's nonyl.
Nonyl? It's not nonol?
Yeah.
Nonyl?
No. This got spelled wrong when I transposed it. It's 2-nonyl, which tends to increase as we age. So this is this chemical compound in your body. Number 2, nonyl, Noneal is how it's actually spelled, which tends to increase with age, particularly after the age of 40. Oh my God, at 40.
You're there. That's right, old lady. Old lady Chan.
It forms when natural oils on the skin begin to break down through oxidation, like a car, Ted, like an old car. Your paint just starts chipping off.
You're just rusting,
creating a distinct odor that is often described as slightly greasy, grassy, or stale. Very charming. But here's the surprising part. Science suggests it may not be as unpleasant as the stereotype might imply. In one study, researchers asked younger adults to smell body odor samples from people in different age groups, like from groups of teens, early 20s, 30s, and so on. And one of the groups was between 75 and 95.
Mm-hmm.
The oldest group scent was consistently recognized as older people,
mm-hmm.
but it was actually rated as less intense and less unpleasant than the stank of, say, like a 14-year-old boy's locker room.
Oh my God, it's foul. It's, I mean,
it's lethal.
kids, like young people, are musky. They have a very intense smell. And it's like if you walk into the room, like when the windows have been shut and the door's been shut, and the and the and the and the bed sheets are all balled up, and then you unfurl those bed sheets. Oh, look out!
I'm not looking forward to when my son gets there, Ted. You already
He-
went through this.
I have.
So
It's not over.
apparently people, well, he's in his 20s, so I guess it levels out. But apparently people would prefer the old people odor
For
over
sure.
the young teen odor. So it smells different, but not necessarily worse. That's because we think of the old people smell is more layered than its skin chemistry. Scent memory plays a huge role. The brain tends to associate certain smells with age. Things like powder, perfume, old books, stale upholstery, mothballs, medicine cabinets, or a house that's been closed up a little too long. It becomes less about one smell and more about a familiar atmosphere.
That
So it's
makes
just
sense.
your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are also lifestyle factors that make the scent more noticeable. As people age, skin becomes drier, oil production changes, metabolism shifts, and some medications or chronic conditions can affect body odor as well. Clothing, linens, and indoor air quality can contribute. So experts say don't panic, just good hygiene. Use breathable fabrics as you age. Stay hydrated. Moisturize. Moisturize, people. Moisturize. And keep your living space fresh. That'll all help take away the too nonial. But aging changes the body, and that includes scent. So that's what they want to say. And it's so it's not actually that grandma and grandpa aren't bathing because they can't climb into the bathtub. It's a physiological change.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Science. So
That is super interesting.
yeah.
In the latest entry in What Exactly Are We Paying College Tuition For?, Howard University is now offering a course centered on Cardi B. The course is titled The Cardi B, Am I the Drama? The Art, Production, Marketing, and Cultural Impact. Oh boy.
This is real.
And
Real
it will
story.
reportedly examine Cardi B's work through the lens of the music business, branding, media strategy, and cultural influence. Howard is not presenting this as a sit around and talk about celebrity gossip for credit hours. The course is housed within its Warner Music Blavatnik Center for Music Business and is linked to the school's hip hop studies minor, which means the stated goal is to analyze Cardi B as a commercial and cultural case study, not simply as a pop figure, which academically speaking is not exactly unserious. Modern universities have long studied pop culture as a way of understanding consumer behavior, identity formation, media ecosystems, class signaling, race, gender, and the economics of influence. Cardi B is a highly visible example of how celebrity, controversy, authenticity, virality, and monetization intersect in the digital age. However, a less charitable interpretation is that it also has to be exactly the kind of course offering that makes ordinary people wonder whether college education has finally disappeared entirely up into its own buttocks. But because, however elegantly you frame it, the optics are strange. At the same time, when college tuition continues to soar and many college graduates are leaving school unable to find a job, this kind of stuff seems really irrelevant. So, an entire university course built around her.
At the historic Howard University, where the illustrious former Veep Kamala Harris is an alumnus.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I mean, hello, she became Veep.
True.
Ted.
For no good reason, but yes, she did.
But whatever, she's an alum. She's Howard University is like a storied, historically Black college for people who don't know here in DC.
True.
And it's produced a great many of, obviously I'm not in the Black community, but within the Black community and minority community. It's produced a lot of like really important, notable figures, right?
No question. No
To the
question.
community, who have, whether they're authors, musicians, whatever, they've come through Howard. But now, Ted, a Cardi B course, you're paying, I don't know, $80,000 a year or something like that to go to Howard.
Oh, probably closer to 100. And I mean, the thing is, if you live on campus, look, I can argue this either way. I mean, seriously, I think that's what makes these kind of stories interesting. I mean, look, should a university or a college only be teaching, stuff that's like old and out of date? Like, you don't need algebra, but yet they're still teaching it. Nobody needs algebra, including like engineers. Should you be still, do you still have to fucking learn about, Hume and Locke and all those dudes? It's like, or is
yes, you need to learn about Hume and Locke.
Is Richard Wright still important to know about? I don't know, but I mean, I personally love Richard Wright, but I mean, and I do think it's cool. Like, for example, when I was at Columbia in '82. I took a class on Vietnam. Now, bear in mind, the Vietnam War had only ended, a few years earlier. So it was very cool that they had a class about the Vietnam War. And I think you could definitely make a case that, like, Cardi B is not the subject. It's like it's the way into a topic. Maybe, but it also seems like. You know what? It sounds to me more like the kind of class that should be taught at the Learning Annex.
Well, she also, when she was a stripper, let's not forget. I mean, this is the kind of quality person.
I don't know her background.
Oh, I do.
She was a stripper?
She was a stripper. She was she was also a sex worker. And one of the things that she used to do is that when she would take men, and she said this is on the record, she would drug them and rob them. So this is the kind of person.
What?
So there's business. So that's part of the business of Cardi B.
Very much so. So I mean, if she would screw you, or she would screw you, and but no, I mean, it's all out there.
Wow.
Fact check it. I mean, she's on the record. When she was a prostitute, when she was a whore, she would take men. Wow. The agreement was that she would trade sex for money. She would drug them and rob them. And so this prestigious Black school, this is the role model that they want. And we wonder why Black culture sucks.
Wait, what?
Wow, I did not know this about
What do you mean Black culture sucks?
No, I know. I get what Robbie's saying.
Hold on, let me unpack this. Ted asked a very legitimate question here. Before the war on poverty, the Black family had a higher marriage rate than the white families did.
Bingo. Now and church attendance.
Now it's completely flipped. The out of wedlock rate for single motherhood is off the charts. Last I looked is pushing 80%. The Black community makes up 30% of the population and more than half of the violent crime. You can call it racist.
An argument could be made about over-policing too, but
it's because that's where the crime is. So I mean, it comes down to the end of the day. If you have young men who don't have dads at home, they go crazy, and the state is a lousy father.
Look at me. I'm perfectly sane and totally well-adjusted and not traumatized.
No, your dad is in your life, and he's almost 100 years old. So he's always in your life. He just wasn't in the house.
And Cardi B, if you're going to put an avatar on what's wrong with this culture, she's right there. Now, I understand she's Puerto Rican, but still, it's right there.
She might be Afro-Latina, though. I think she might ethnically be Afro-Latina.
Well, they all are. I mean, it's all mixed up down there. It's like Brazil. I mean, you're all just mixed up. I dated a girl in Brazil that was darker than Kizzy with blonde hair and green eyes. And it wasn't dye. It was just, that was her genetics. I mean, just all mixed up. I mean, it's a thing. I mean, there's a crap ton of mixing down there. So yeah, I mean, it's all mixed up. Yeah. But the point that I'm trying to make is that this college, they could have picked someone who was truly a pioneer. someone who really excelled, someone who black women could have looked up to and said, I can do that. Like those women who are involved in NASA.
I see what you're saying.
Those are things that they could have done. Instead, they go with a dried up hooker with her.
Really?
And her hit song is "Wet Ass Pussy." And
that's the song. A WAP. Yeah. That's her.
Yeah, that's her.
Oh, okay.
And so she got her start.
Thank you for that. I forgot about who that was.
So she got her start.
Yes.
By being a slut and drugging men. I mean, if someone's going to pay you for it, at least give it to them.
To Robbie's point, that's true. To Rob, that's bad customer service. To Robbie's point,
you're not going to get return business that way.
Report her to the Better Business Bureau. Yeah.
To Robbie's point, if they were going to make a class about a strong black woman that's marketed well, I mean, Kamala Harris is an alumnus.
Well, you could make first of all, you could really truly make an argument that turning someone who's a former sex worker, criminal, by her own account, and turning her into a business phenomenon is, it says all sorts of things about the music business and about capitalism and about Western civilization in 2026. And the fact of her background could be a feature of that, right? Like, it's like you've turned, how can you, around. I mean, someone like that would not 50 years ago have had the opportunity to, although, I mean, I thought it was outrageous that I read that Barbara Streisand in her salad days would take taxis to auditions and then run away and not pay the taxi driver. Now, as a taxi driver for myself for 7 years,
you take offense.
I took umbrage at that, and I thought, "Fuck you, Barbara Streisand, horrible cunt! Like how why don't you take the subway or the bus like a normal person instead of being a fucking princess and then like taking a cab you can't afford, right?" But this goes obviously
I see what you're saying, yeah.
This goes to the next level. And like taxi drivers shouldn't be ripped off. They're barely scraping by. It's hard work. They get killed doing that job. It's a tough job, believe me, I know. But still, this is obviously she was elevated from a very low socioeconomic status, like the lowest of all possible. I mean, sex worker, criminal,
queen
street
rapper right now
is skank. Is obviously to superstar. That says something about the music business.
And that was a role model. Think about that for a second. I mean, seriously. Now listen.
Well, that is interesting.
Well-dressed nerd says
study, right?
Well-dressed nerd says to the show, Jay-Z was a crack dealer, and now he's a billionaire businessman. Fat Joe was a crack dealer, and now he's a top podcaster. It's time for the ladies.
Wasn't Malcolm
to shine.
X a pimp too?
So, I mean, that's a fair.
Wasn't Malcolm X Malcolm X was a pimp? Now he's a civil rights icon. I mean,
to Nerd's point, isn't that's fair? I mean, we don't give as much shit to people like Jay-Z or Fat Joe for having the backgrounds that they have, and now
there's lots of skanky white people who've been elevated, like JD Vance.
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, and we have to end this soon. I mean, listen, no, I get it. I understand, and I know I'm coming off sound like a judgmental prick because I guess I am. But at the end of the day, though, if you do this kind of stuff and you're selling poison like Jay-Z, and you're doing it for profit, because if you use crack, you're ruining someone's life, and you're selling someone poison that's going to ruin their life. Then he gets elevated. And then he starts making music that degrades and degenerates women in the most disgusting way possible. How is that an upgrade? All you've done is increase the amount of damage that you do. Women should be loved and cherished. They should be protected. You shouldn't just call them bitches and whores and then treat them like garbage and then you knock them up and discard them.
But I mean, the thing is,
what kind of man are you?
We're kind of having two different conversations here, right? I think we can all agree on like the moral character of Cardi B and Jay-Z. But the question here is, what is someone like that is someone like that worthy of study by an institution, a serious institution of higher learning? That's the question.
What's the value that she brings?
Well, it's not about her personally.
Well, I mean,
it's about her as it's
her
sort of
rise.
like how, like, literally probably one of the most important works of history of America of the 20th century is Robert Caro's multi-volume biography of LBJ. He spent 40 plus years working on it, right? Oh, and you're like, LBJ? Why fucking LBJ? He's not the most important American president. He doesn't have great moral character. I mean,
why dedicate your life to that shit?
Why dedicate your life to living up LBJ's ass? But when you read the book, you understand that LBJ is like a Zelig figure for the latter half of for the middle of the 20th century, and it's basically a way in to study the civil rights movement and the Vietnam War and the Kennedy assassination. It's a way in, and so it's Cardi B a way in to talk about more serious matters.
Listen,
as a business, I could see how if this was a business class, maybe because of how, but that's less to do with her and more.
It's the music business department.
Oh, so more to do with how you can examine the people that she surrounded herself with.
Well, or just how she was marketed. I mean, imagine the challenge if, like, let's say the three of us are working at a record company as executives, and we're like, oh, we've signed this lady, but obviously she's got this past.
How do you market this lady of the night?
This shit to make us money without getting fucked over. Right?
Because she's good looking, right, and then what you do is that you play on sex appeal. So she embraced it. Yeah, I'm good looking. I used to fuck men for money. This is what I did.
There's a lot of pretty women out there.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of pretty strippers and a lot of pretty prostitutes.
But what she did,
they don't become Cardi B.
But what Cardi B did, and this is the marketing genius behind it, and this just shows just how sick our society is that she said, yeah, I did all of this. I'm a strong, independent woman. I took it to the man literally, and then she gets elevated for this. The point that I'm trying to make, and this goes into Ted's point, LBJ, he did something that no one else was able to do in 400 years. The man destroyed the black family. He destroyed it.
By the way, Mae West was a prostitute.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Oh no, she's a very famous actress and playwright. She had her whole shtick was like, when I'm good, I'm when I'm good, I'm good. When I'm bad, I'm better.
Yes. She's like a big women's lib icon from the.
She's Marilyn Monroe before
West
Marilyn
films.
Monroe.
Yeah,
is the best way to describe her.
She was like, in the Wild West movies, like a gunslinging, like yeehaw.
Yeah, hot pistol packing mama.
Yeah, pew pew pew. The boobs out, and
Mae West is great, really.
Yeah, she's great. She had a lot of great. She was a witty woman. She gave a lot of great quotes that survive to this day. So anyway, we'll leave that there and let you guys talk about that. The audience, that is, because starting this fall, for all you parents.
Oh, Courtney Love, Lady Gaga. Also,
but they were whores. No, Lady Gaga wasn't a whore, and I don't think Courtney Love was.
I think she was a stripper, right? Wasn't she?
Lady Gaga? No, she was like a waitress and a lounge singer.
I don't know. She's coming up.
Courtney Love.
She worked in the sex industry, according to IMDb.
Really? I don't know. Courtney Love might have been a stripper, but either way, I don't know. But I just find it strange that
Chris
for all
Pratt,
the people, all the people that want to still go to college.
Channing Tatum.
All the people that still want to go to college. Those are men, though. All the people that want to go to college still and pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to be in debt. You come out and AI has stolen all of your jobs. So I don't care that you majored in Cardi B or whatever. Like, I don't care what you majored in. By the time you Gen Zers are out of college, AI has stolen your job. You're $250,000 in debt, and you have
Sylvester
a degree
Stallone.
in Cardi B
I forgot
music.
About him. He did porn. Sylvester Stallone's first movies were porn movies.
Wow. Well, so I don't judge people for their
George
backgrounds necessarily.
Floyd was a porn star too.
No.
He was. Look it up.
Yeah.
He did. George Floyd.
Was he
St. George?
Was he successful?
Well, obviously,
he was not a good-looking guy.
He could afford
apparently not.
He could afford his fentanyl. He was fine.
No, apparently he was not a successful porn star because he had a counterfeit $20 bill.
Yeah, but seriously, look it up though. He did porn.
Ew, no. But anyway, my whole
the
point
Saint
Cameron Diaz.
My whole point to this is you guys have college-age children. How would you feel if your kid got a degree in this shit and was like, Dad, I'm taking this class this fall. It's about Cardi B.
I'd have questions, but I think, frankly, this discussion has satisfied me that everything's about execution. If the professor's good and the class and the core curriculum is designed properly, this could theoretically be a valid class in the music.
Yeah, I could accept this as well, as long as you really examine the business angle and how you can basically spin a prostitute and drug dealer into this new music icon, right? And you're looking at the new media landscape. So I could say this is valid, surprisingly. Anyway, that does it for us. No show Monday, I think, right? Because it's Easter Monday.
What? What do you mean Easter Monday?
That's not Easter Monday.
There's no such thing as Easter Monday.
Yeah, I thought federal holiday I thought that was a federal
holiday.
What
are you high? There's no such thing as Easter Monday. No.
I thought it was a federal
holiday. There's no federal holiday in the month of April.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Easter Monday. You've never been. Have you ever darkened the inside of a church, Manila? Never.
Not on that Monday. I don't know.
No, today is Good Friday, and then today's
Good Friday,
and Sunday's Easter, and then that's it.
No, interesting.
I thought it was a federal holiday.
Interesting tidbit. No, the Catholic Church, they teach that Good Friday is when Jesus was crucified. He was actually crucified on Wednesday, if you go by the timeline in the Bible.
Well, the timeline in the Bible, I never understood it as a Catholic growing up. It's like, so he was dead for 3 days.
3 days and 3 nights.
Right, 3 days and 3 nights. So you don't get from Friday to Sunday. It does not make that.
Yeah, because he was crucified before the high Sabbath. So the high Sabbath was on that Friday. That was the Passover. He was crucified on Wednesday. That's why he rose on the first day of the week, which is Sunday.
But wait, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. Why wouldn't he rise
Wednesday
on Saturday?
count as one?
Well, because you got to remember the Hebrew calendar. The day started at sunset.
Oh, so wouldn't it be Saturday night then?
No, because he
rose. It would be Sunday.
So he rose Sunday morning.
It would be Sunday
because it was a lunar calendar, right? So,
right, I get it.
So he was crucified on a Wednesday. The Catholic Church, surprisingly, got it wrong again.
Well, I mean, for that matter, everybody gets Christmas wrong, right? Because Jesus was really born in the summer.
Yeah, no one really knows. Well, it's not important. If it was important, the Bible would have said. But no, I mean, it was Sol Invictus. So, I mean, that does the empire, the deity of the rising sun. So when the Christianity became dominant, you just take over the major holiday that's already there.
So when people do Christmas in July, that is closer to the truth.
Yeah, either spring or summer, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Probably it would make more sense with the baby animals.
Yeah, I've heard people who've calculated it think it's like around June 24th or something like that.
Yeah, maybe somewhere in there.
Anyway. Okay, I guess we are back Monday. I thought, because I promised Ted that we would always take federal holidays off, I thought Easter Monday was a thing for the feds.
Okay.
So I guess not.
Manila, you guys start going to church.
Why do you tell me and not Ted?
Well, I've been to church.
Yeah,
I've been to church.
Not ever.
Ted haven't been since I was like 20.
Matter of fact, when Ted comes to visits me again later on this year, he's going to go to men's Bible prayer with me, and he's going to go to church with me on Sunday.
That's true.
I'm trying to convert him. I'm witnessing to him.
To Baptist?
I'm a tough case, though.
It's okay. I'm stubborn too.
I'm a tough nut to crack.
No, but seriously, no. Honest to God,
interesting.
Go see A Great Awakening. Awesome movie. Me and Kizzy saw it last night. Most religious movies suck.
It's in the theater or it's streaming?
It's in the theater. Today's the first day. Right. Awesome movie. Cannot recommend it enough.
Okay, cool.
Martina says Palm Sunday for Greek Orthodox, the original calendar.
Oh, this is like John still here.
Everyone's going to start fighting over the calendar dates.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I was just going off of what I thought federal holidays, because my kid has that day off and they called it Easter Monday. So I thought, oh, I wonder if it's a federal holiday.
Nah, that's just some weird DC DMV shit.
Yeah, well, because
okay.
Well, it's because when Jesus was crucified, usually crucifixion would take days to kill someone. Yeah. And Jesus died after Jesus.
He went fast, right? Like 3 hours.
Yep, because Jesus did something none of us can do. He chose when he died, so he gave up his ghost.
Also, he'd gotten beaten up and
he'd been scourged and
much worse than usual.
Yeah, so he'd been beaten and been scourged, and the reason why
we got to go because we have a meeting to get to.
Yeah, I know, but the reason why they're going to take him down is because it was unlawful to have a corpse hanging on a tree during Passover, and Passover started that night. And so that's why the Romans are going to break the legs. So if you break the legs, they couldn't lift themselves up to breathe. They'd suffocate faster. But Jesus is already dead. So that's why they speared him in the side to make sure that he was dead.
Okay, so no federal holiday until Memorial Day.
Right.
So there you are. Okay. So we'll see you on Monday.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Have a great weekend.
Bye, guys.
Happy Easter to everyone who's celebrating. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.